Hello there, and welcome to part 2 of Jedi Master Shaggy's Lightsaber staff spinning tutorial. Today, we're going to go over how to do front spins, spins behind the back, to rotate between spins in front and behind the back, how to add an extra spin before spinning in front again, as well as how to spin and switch hands on either side, and how to do spinning above the head high and behind the back low. Signature Darth Maul spin of sorts. So what we're going to do first is hold the lightsaber blade at the point of balance at the center of the hilt, which is again where the lightsaber blade will kind of stay without falling to either side. Hold it in the middle. I'm going to use my right hand. I'm going to hold it about chest height in front of me. I'm going to rotate the lead blade up. So I'm giving a nice thumbs up, clockwise. And I'm going to keep rotating until that lead blade is facing down, letting the lightsaber hilt fall out of my hand, only to be held between my thumb and my index finger. Now we'll take my left hand, once the lead blade is facing down, in the same position with the palm up, grab under my right hand with my palm facing up between my thumb and my index finger. Once I have securely in my left hand, I let go with my right hand and keep rotating clockwise, and the hilt will fall into the palm of my hand. I can now close my hand and keep spinning that lead blade clockwise, coming down. Once that left hand is facing down, like I'm giving a nice thumbs down, I then take my right hand in the same position as the left hand, grab above the left hand with the right hand, in the palm of my hand, thumb facing down, and I'm letting go with my left hand and continuing back, and now I'm back to where I started. So if you notice, it's always grabbing with the other hand in the same position as the hand that was holding it, and the right hand is always above the left hand. So I'm coming here with my left hand in the same position as the right hand below it. Now I'm coming with my right hand to be again above the left hand in the same position as the left hand. You can pick up some speed, and if you look at my elbows, you can kind of see there's some natural motion up and down with the elbows, and my elbows are kind of up in the air, pointing up when my thumbs are facing down, and they're kind of at my sides tucked when my palms are facing up. That really just helps with the wrist motion, so you don't have to have crazy wrist mobility to make it work. Once you know that, you can also do the same thing in reverse. So instead of going clockwise, I'm going counterclockwise. So if it's in my right hand, and I'm starting with the same position, I'm just going to go counterclockwise. So I'm giving a nice thumbs down, taking my left hand in the same position as the right. Again, the left hand is still always below the right hand. And I'm letting go with the right hand. I'm just continuing counterclockwise spin now, letting the lightsaber hilt fall out of the palm of my hand. And I'm grabbing with my right hand with the palm up again. So it's really the same thing as it was, just in the opposite direction. And anytime you want, you could switch. Now that we know how to do the circular spins clockwise and counterclockwise, we could do a cool thing where we can switch sides, and you could do it while stationary, or you could kind of walk while doing it. So what we're gonna do, because you have to know how to do the figure 8 with the right hand and the figure 8 with your left hand, which I have tutorial for already. So I'll do it facing the side first. I go into, like I'm doing, a figure 8 spin, but instead of coming into the other part of it, I come here, and now I go into a spin. So I'm grabbing with the left, and now I switch to the left, and I'm coming with the left, and I could kind of step forwards into it with the left foot while I do it. And now, again, I'm doing the same thing, which is now a counterclockwise spin, and switching. So clockwise, counterclockwise. If I start with the other direction, it'll look like this. Clockwise, counterclockwise. Clockwise, counterclockwise. So now that we know how to do this cool spin, we can move on to something else. So now that we know how to do the circular spin in front of us, what if we want to go behind the back? So I suggest learning the Obi-Wan spin before we do this, which I do already have a tutorial for. So we're going to do the spin in front of us, and keep going and spin in front of us again. So I've done a full rotation now. At which point I'm gonna make like I'm going into an Obi-Wan spin, coming up, getting a nice thumbs up behind me, and I'm gonna grab the lightsaber behind my back. I'm giving that nice thumbs up, and I'm grabbing my left hand under my right hand. Again, always grab with the other hand in the same position as the hand that was holding the lightsaber, and the right hand always above the left hand. Now I'm gonna let go with my right hand, let the blade drop down with my left hand, bring the lightsaber blade back up and behind me like I'm coming into a reverse figure 8. And now I could go into another spin in front of me. So when I was coming from behind me here, and I switched to my left hand, and I spun behind me, and I came back to where I started. Again, I'm gonna just go like I was doing a circular spin again. So behind to the left hand, in front, behind, in front. And if I do it the other way, behind and in front, behind and in front. And you can also do as many spins in the front in a row as you want. You could just keep going in the standard switching hands once, or you could sit there and spin in the front as many times as you want before going to the back. But for the back spin, I recommend only switching from the right hand to the left hand and keeping it moving. Now we could build on this around the world spin, as I like to call it, if you know how to do a reverse Obi-Wan in your left hand if you're spinning mainly with your right hand. So when I'm spinning and I switch to my left hand and I come up and behind me, instead of switching hands to the right hand there, I can come back here, and now I'm going into a reverse Obi-Wan, and then coming back to switch. So it's really that same around the world, and instead of switching there, I'm just adding a nice little reverse Obi-Wan and then getting back into the around the world. Viewed from the back, what it's gonna look like is I'm spinning in the front, I come behind me, I come back, and instead of switching hands here, I tuck into reverse Obi-Wan and then go. I like to call this spin the around the world and back. Pretty cool trick. Once you know how to do that, you can also spin above your head and behind your back. This is a Darth Maul spin, I think. I've seen Ray Park do it a lot. Of course, he does it faster than me because he is awesome and a professional, but I think I can teach you the basics of it. So I like to start the lightsaber blade down at my side, and I bring it up above my head, and I'm kind of doing the same thing that I would do for a clockwise circular spin, but I'm doing it above my head, switching to my left hand, continuing that rotation, and I kind of tuck the lead blade under my arm again, and I bring it back behind my body, grab it parallel with my right hand, and whip it back like I'm doing an Obi-Wan spin, and bring it back up. Viewed from the back, what that's gonna look like, I bring the lightsaber up, spin, switch, keep it going, behind, grab with my back of my hands kind of at the back of my waist, palms facing behind me, switch to the right hand, and keep it going. If we speed it up a little bit, it should look something like this. And I think you can spin while you do it. Let's see if I have room to try it here. Spin while you do it. I'm kind of in a limited space environment, but it is possible. So let's review what we learned. We learned the circular spin clockwise. We learned the circular spin counterclockwise. We learned spin in the front to spin in the back. or around the world spin, as well as how to add an extra reverse OBN to the spin to do around the world and back. We also learned how to do spin switches from one hand to the other while kind of walking a little bit or while remaining stationary. And we even learned how to do the high-low circles, kind of like a Darth Maul spin, as well as potentially even try to move or spin while we do it, assuming we have the space to do it. There's still a lot more lightsaber staff techniques out there, such as building on the Obiani with the Sun Wukong spin, adding an extra spin to it, as well as two-handed kind of Darth Maul-like spins, including ones that build on that even and spin the body, putting it in reverse and chaining it with the forwards, as well as some other nunchuck style spins like that, this, and even that. Stay tuned, there are more lightsaber staff tutorials coming.